Всем привет! Сейчас мы находимся с вами на выставке салона Дель Мобиле. Павильон называется Satellite. Satellite посвящен молодым дизайнерам со всего мира, и попасть сюда на самом деле очень сложно. Сейчас мы находимся на стенде. Молодые дизайнеры, молодые ребята, они представляют свой стенд. И мы хотим задать пару вопросов, просто узнать про их концепцию, про процесс работы и как вообще это все происходит. Как сложно попасть именно на выставку. Hi. So, are you from Sweden?
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in Madrid.
Yeah. Получается, дизайнеры из Испании и Швеции. Но они как бы живут и работают в Берлине. Okay, tell me about your design, about your concept, and how it's difficult today for a young designer to get that space in such great exhibition as Satellite in Salone del Mobile.
Okay, yeah. How can you make it? Okay.
Is it possible? I mean, it's like, for us it's something so unreal and unusual, and how did you get it?
You have to go through a process, a selection process, and then after they have selected you, you have to propose some projects to present here. And usually it's quite difficult in the sense of producing prototypes at the same level of the industry. So this year we decided to make something that we can make ourselves with our own means as young designers. So everything we have here, we can develop it at this point perfectly, and it's like completely finished. But we could develop it further with more technology or more means. So if a company comes to us, we can keep working and make like a new project using this as a starting point or as a foundation. But we want to present something that's finished, not a model or a fake thing.
So you mean that that exposition is exactly for involving the company into your process, right? I mean, like a company for the mass production.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also retail stores. They come here sometimes. If you have something you can produce, you can deal with them directly. So it's like a new business model in that sense. Sometimes the designers produce a really short series and they deal with galleries or stores. They self-produce everything.
Okay, let me just translate.
Sure. Maybe it was too long.
No, thank you. Получается, что процесс на самом деле очень сложный для того, чтобы именно попасть и завоевать это место на выставке. Но именно для молодых дизайнеров это очень хороший сайт, очень хороший шанс для того, чтобы привлечь, для того, чтобы продукцию привести в реальную жизнь. И получается, компании, которые тоже приезжают сюда на выставку, они, если проект понравился ребят, дизайнеров, то они предлагают именно производство той или иной продукции. What is your concept of your design itself?
This series is based on the notion that the energy saver light bulb is considered ugly, but it's in a sense the future in lighting when it comes to the life expectancy of the light bulb is very long. So we wanted to make it attractive again and decorate it. So you can see it as a kind of jewelry or accessory for the light bulb itself. So it's a recontextualized lampshade.
I mean, you just kind of, in a very aesthetic way, you just connect somehow the functionality and like very beautiful things. But what are the materials? I mean, is that like
Plastic and wood in different combinations. This has veneer on the inside, cherry and cedar wood.
okay?
And then different kinds of plastic with the squares on the inside to reflect the light and make it warm.
Okay, thank you. But I'm just wondering how much time does it take like to produce one piece of furniture, one piece of lighting?
It depends.
Some
of them
But I mean,
take,
like minimum or maximum?
yeah, I don't know, between 1 hour and 3, maybe.
It depends on, like, if you make more of them, you can
Yeah.
work like a factory and make it more efficient. You do the same procedure to each piece, and then you move on to the next step and you do the same thing, so you don't have to think.
It's like
If you would make
practice.
one lamp from start to finish, it would take longer than making several lamps at once. If you look at the average time per lamp. So,
Yeah. And I'm just like interested. How did you decide like to become a product designer? I mean, was it like from the very, I don't know, childhood, your dream, or it's like, okay, why not?
I think it's a bit different between us. For me, it's more another project. I like to work in project-based form, so whatever problem or thing that comes up, I will go into it, see what happens. And I
And,
come from a fashion background, so
Oh,
I think in a different way.
And I come from, I'm a trained architect, and I don't think there's much difference between working with this and doing architecture. Basically designing something and building it. So,
you mean like every design background is very useful in different spheres of design, right? I mean, if you just came from architect and you're like fashion, you still can create a very like productive team with 10 them to working
Yeah.
together.
yeah, I agree. That's why we're working together. It's like you get something more three-dimensional in that sense, like
Because you have different approaches.
approaches.
Whereas
Yeah.
Alfonso might structure things in a very linear way. I would drape and fold and see how that works, because that's how I think when I'm making clothing. He thinks in terms of volumes and systems. So it's a different
I mean, it's a very
approach
good
to-
idea when you just can split the functions.
And we
I mean,
overlap.
who is in good something, he can do that. I mean, it's okay.
We know different things, but we overlap each other's skills. So it's
Yeah, also in terms of materials, there are many materials that they are not common in product design, but they are common in fashion design. So maybe next step will be trying to broaden the palette of materials in product design, using
Oh.
things that you are not supposed to use. Use things in a way that is not supposed the right way to be used. So
remember everything.
So yeah, thank you. Сейчас соберусь с мыслями. Получается, ребята, они именно основное внимание обращают на функциональность и на эстетическую сторону своей продукции. То есть, если обратить внимание на лампочки, они энергосберегающие лампы декорируют путем специального пластика, который с помощью такого особенного декора цвет он становится намного все, мне надо переключиться сейчас на русский язык. Цвет становится более рассеянней, и мне кажется, что это как бы очень функциональный и очень декоративный, красивый подход. Также ребята говорили о тандеме своем, рассказывали, потому что парень, получается, который из Испании, у него за плечами архитектурное образование, и парень, который из Швеции, у него за плечами дизайн моды, точнее дизайн одежды. Вот. И насколько это важно работать в тандеме, когда соприкасаются различные сферы, и при этом можно создавать очень функциональные и красивые предметы, при этом как бы имея разные сферы деятельности. Вот. И последний завершающий вопрос, наверное, я хочу все-таки спросить их мнение о российском дизайне, если что они вообще об этом думают и имеют ли они какое-то представление о российском дизайне. Давайте у них об этом спросим. And I think like my kind of last question, I just want to ask your opinion about what do you think about Russian design? I mean, do you have like any idea of Russian design itself? I mean, maybe furniture, product, interior design, like every kind of design in Russia. What do you think?
I know there's a lot happening in Russian fashion because there's a kind of new generation with different references because politically the country changed. So now the people are changing their frame of reference, what they're looking at and how they're utilizing it. And think there's a lot of interesting things that you can get from Russia.
About fashion, right?
Anything. I don't see it isolated in different mediums. I think there's an overall fashion, not just related to clothing, but that affects everything and human behavior at large.
But do you think like Russian design has kind of huge future? I mean, like,
Well, it has a huge past.
yeah,
And I know,
for
but
sure, but
I think Russian design is everywhere here, in the sense that during my training days, Russian design was, very, very influential
Yeah.
for me.
but
But in the past, and all those
What do you
schools,
get?
yeah, they are founded in that design, and I think Russian design is overly influential. But
yeah.
not what you're doing right now, because maybe you are trying to be like more like the rest of.
more European, yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
when you have such an amazing past as designers. So
But what
that's
exactly- what exactly in the past served as inspiration for you? I mean, like Russian
graphic
past.
design, constructivism,
Yeah.
Russian architecture. Yeah.
Okay.
Also just the level of craftsmanship that existed
Yeah.
Yeah.
unbeatable.
Even-
There's
even
nowhere else
like-
in the
You,
world. the
you
same
mean like
kind of
classic and traditional one,
I'm
right?
saying classic. I was talking like last century, but before, the tradition is amazing.
jewelry and carpentry. There's some really, really amazing examples of what human civilization has been able to accomplish.
Vabbè,
Should not be.
poi ti farò
But
vedere.
I think like in
Bene.
Italy it's
Allora, aspettate che ti cerco il tuo
amazing
amico
also
fino a...
like fashion design, no? I mean,
But in a
Again,
different way, because
Yeah.
it's industrialized in a factory sense. But when I was looking at craftsmanship in Russia, it's really the virtuosity of one person able to master handcraft to perfection on a level which hasn't been seen anywhere else in the world.
thank you so much.
Thanks to you. Nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck for you for your for your design.
And please send the
Yeah,
material.
I'll do
I'd
that.
love to see that.
Yeah, finish, translate.
Yep.
Последний вопрос, как я уже говорила, был о представлении о российском дизайне, о нашем. В принципе, как бы ребята довольно позитивно ответили, но единственное, они в основном говорили о прошлом, именно что было как бы у нас раньше. И большое влияние на них оказал конструктивизм, и также они считают очень большой вклад именно в нашей российской культуре. Это какая-то ручная работа именно. Вот, и в принципе, получается, молодой человек, молодой дизайнер из Швеции еще сказал, что у нас очень большие перспективы именно по дизайну одежды. Ну, вот такой вот небольшой, но полезный опыт, считаю. Мы будем продолжать исследовать Satellite. Вот, и до скорых встреч. Спасибо за внимание. С вами был проект Ю2М. Ахматова Диляра. Пока.